Okay, so we're going to get the anchor ready to deploy. So I want to point out what we have here in the forward anchor locker. First of all, we've got the windlass itself. Obviously we've got our primary anchor. We've got the chain stop, one cleat, which at the moment is holding onto the bridle, which we'll talk about in a minute. And very importantly, the windlass remote. Like I said, one of the most important features of anchoring is the fact that we've got this remote. And the whole idea about this remote is to make the anchoring experience easy, but also it's all about safety. We don't want you as customers to have your fingers or hands anywhere near the chain, the windlass and the gypsy. So as you can see, I'm standing up, I'm away from any moving gear, and I'm going to deploy the anchor using this remote. So first of all, I'm just going to drop the anchor just over the bow roller. We're still going to find our exact spot to anchor, but now it's ready. Now it's ready to deploy. And as soon as we find our correct spot, I can let the anchor go easily. We found our correct anchoring spot. Using the remote, again, hands away from the windlass and all the chain. So we have 150 feet of anchor chain, and it's marked every 25 feet. And what we really say is that from a scope point of view, the amount of chain you want to let out, it should be really 5 times the water depth. So as I've been letting the chain out, the captain's been reversing the boat, and we've probably let out about 65 feet of chain. Okay, so we're anchored, we're secure. We're now going to put the bridle on. So we'll take this line with this big solid hook on, and we're just going to place it I'm going to go back to the remote, and I'm going to continue to let it down. So what you're looking at now is the bridle attached to the anchor chain. There's a couple of reasons we use this bridle. One is it actually takes the pressure off the chain off your windlass, and it'll stop the noise of that grinding at night time, which can be very annoying. Where the hook is, that's now taking the strain of the anchor chain, and the chain that's coming back on board over the bow roller onto the gypsy has very little strain on it. Once we're done, the last part of the operation is to take that little safety chain catch and push it over back on the chain just to stop that slipping. So one more point or interesting about anchoring is to make sure you set your anchor correctly and that you're not dragging. Get it set and then pick something on the shoreline, pick a landmark, just look at that as a bearing and keep an eye on it for maybe 5-10 minutes just to make sure that you're not moving. And by looking at that bearing on the land, if the anchor was to drag, obviously that bearing would change. So just something else to consider when you're anchoring. So a couple of things about what we've just gone through around anchoring. First of all, you very rarely anchor in the BVI because there's mooring balls in all the spots that you're going, all the anchorages that you're going to be visiting. So it's a rarity to have to anchor, but it's always good to know how to. Secondly, always set your anchor first. Get that set. Get it dug in, make sure it's got a good bite on the bottom, and then you set your bridle. Don't try and set the bridle while you're actually anchoring. So anchor first, get it set, and then set your bridle.